York's classic rock. Q1043.
Good morning. I am sitting next to someone who's been my idol for so many years, Cyndi Lauper. Yes, she has sold 50 million albums, 20 million singles. She's so unusual. Her debut 35 years ago was the first debut by a woman to have 4 top 5 hits in the Billboard Hot 100. But that's not all. She was named Best New Artist, the Grammys, in 1985. Winner of a Tony for Best Score for Kinky Boots, which is coming to an end on Broadway.
Yeah, actually,
which is sad.
If you want to see it, you should go see it now. Because it's has Connor Maynard and then Tiki Barber. Is that his name?
Yeah, the former Giant.
He's going to play Don. It's pretty. It's gonna be really fun. It makes everybody so happy anyway, and it's a great show to go see because it has everything and has a lot of glamour, and it's also funny, really funny, and has everybody in it and regular-looking people.
So the only thing you have not won yet is with the EGOT, the Emmy.
Oh, everybody wants that EGOT.
The Grammy, the Oscar, and the Tony. You're missing the O.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the other O. Well, the big O.
What O? Oprah?
No, I'm going orgasm. I said not to be confused.
Oprah.
She's not not connecting the dots. But the Oscar is the only one you're missing. But what an achievement. And she's missing, and this is like a big sticking point for me because, of course, I Google you before you come in because I want to make sure that I have all the information and the research on you so you get your due. And I'm looking and going, wait a minute. Right at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Wait a minute. Where's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And then I come to the realization you're not in it, which really pissed me off.
Well, what would really be great for them is to really put like a real musicologist to go through the history of music for people, just like, when you curate an art thing. There is someone curated women in rock and roll. I'm there. Rihanna's there. It's just so Patti Smith. I hope Patti Smith was put in. Who knows?
I don't know. But I think she was.
She was very important and instrumental. Joni Mitchell, very important. Even though it wasn't rock, her music filtered over into rock because rockers recorded it.
But Madonna's in there.
She was in Seymour Stein's record company. That's a whole Warner's thing. I don't know.
All right, let me tell you a story. Back in the day.
And you know what? She had a record out 9 months before me.
Okay, so that goes back in the day. Jim and I were on WPLJ at the time when you debuted and Madonna debuted. And I remember having the discussion on air. Of course, you would never have this discussion about a male artist, but we were discussing who we thought would have the bigger future in the music business. Was it Madonna or was it Cyndi Lauper? And I picked you.
Well,
because I thought you had more talent. I thought that she had the marketing and the shtick, but I thought you had the chops.
I think she has different chops. I think everybody's different.
But I'm just saying, we wouldn't have that discussion.
No, not with men. No, they
right?
pit women against women, unfortunately.
Right.
I felt very bad at that time. I mean, I credit my longevity, and I always think the turtle wins the race. I just want to be able to do things that I love and be healthy enough to do them. And part of why I'm here is because, I kept touring with Cher and Rod Stewart and Blondie, and, I like to perform. I think that every once in a while I got to be singing or I don't feel great. But to sing, you have to be healthy. And when I was out with Cher on that 2013 tour, I had the red hair then.
I always had the hair thing going.
Well, I always know what day it is from my hair color. So anyway, I was sick with psoriasis, and I was, covering it very well, but I was also detoxing a lot because, I went to, there's a lot of different ways and I was doing all the crazy ways. I detoxed so much that, and still performed, that one day I had global amnesia and had no idea why. And they said, well,
wait, you had amnesia?
I like halfway through the set, I never told Cher that she would have had a heart attack. Halfway through the set, I felt really tired, and I just kept singing. I heard I was terrific, though. I think it's always better when you don't think. Anyway.
You're listening to Cyndi Lauper, by the way.
Anyway, it is better when you don't think, when you don't have that third eye. And afterwards, when I went to see the doctors, they looked at what I was doing. They said, "Are you crazy?" Then they tried to talk to the Chinese doctor.
Say detox, what were you doing?
Well, you have these sores. So I would do anything to make them not hurt and so much and bleed and blah, blah, blah. So I'd get in these tubs. I'd make the tea in the hotel room, my little steel pot and hot plate, and then strain it, put it into the tub water, and take a bath. And at the end of the show, I would stick my feet again in another tea for my feet. And that was detoxing. So I was double detoxing because I didn't know what to do anymore. And with this illness, it works different on a lot of different people. So I tried that. I went to sleep like a Michelin tire guy with all the cream on me and the rubber suit and the hat, the little rubber shower cap. My husband,
your
God
lucky
bless
husband.
him, he is a saint. And even like somebody always has something to say to you, like, "Oh, my friend had that cod liver oil with saran wrap, and you know what that's like sleeping in, and the smell, it's just not good."
Well, how long did you have?
5 years.
And it just came out of the blue? Is that what happens? It just comes?
I got sick with an infection or a cold in Europe, and that must have triggered it.
Huh.
And I was really, I tried everything, and I started to joke about it on stage, and I guess the big moment was when this company, Novartis, contacted my management and said, "Hey, we've been working on psoriasis for this many years, and blah, 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 and this is our info, and would she want to work with us?" And, and the first thing I heard was, "We're going to take a picture." And anytime you say, "We're going to take a picture, we got this photographer," I think art. I want to make a painting. So I did all textures. We did skin colors because they said you have to wear light clothes. And you know me, I'm always dressed in black. It's an Italian thing. No, anyway, I put all skin textures, and my hair had a texture, and everything was similar because it's about skin.
Right.
But it was all the color of skin. I don't know if anybody thought about that, but I was thinking about that. So I did that. And I wore this crazy thing. And when I took it off, like a corset thing to make a shape, and when I took it off, my skin was raw because that's what happens, They always say.
So it's irritated by anything that's on it?
Any kind of disruption, it gets worse. But I'm not a doctor. I can't really go with this. All I can say is that there was a doctor finally after the woman saw that. The next meeting was with Dr. Weinberg and the National Psoriasis Foundation and all these other patients. And one guy, he was so sweet to me. He actually gave me a seaweed bath. He said, "This'll make it hurt less,"
Did it help? Because I think the ocean is very healing.
It is, but let me tell you something. I went to the Dead Sea because I thought I took a gig at the Dead Sea.
That probably hurt
because
from all the salt.
No, I had to get better. I thought, I'm Italian. I thought, when you go to Lourdes or Saint Teresa or whatever, you dunk yourself in the water, you come out, you're healed,
Did it help, the Dead Sea?
Well, my butt went up in the air and I went in, and it was freezing. It wasn't summer. And, and my friends were there freezing with me, putting mud on themselves, going, look, it's mud. It's really good. So I put the mud on and I went in and the lady said to me, she said, no, you have to stay here for a month. And I was like, no, I can't stay here for a month.
A
so
month.
I went, so I went back and then, we had this discussion, everybody talking when I had that meeting with Dr. Weinberg and all these people. And he said, the patients, they told me their stories and they said, you'll be representing us now. You'll be the one talking for us.
And you are. And
So-
you're on TV. I see you
Well-
all the time. You are the spokesperson.
Well,
you
you
are,
have to, I know, that's not all I do, but I
course
just
not.
want people to know that if you're ill with psoriasis, it's not a rash. You got to take care of it. You can go to seemetoknow.com. You can hear what other patients have gone through and what they found to help themselves. You can go to the National Psoriasis Foundation and find out from them, get information. Sometimes when you're sick, you shut down and you feel powerless. But I'm here to say that information is power.
and
knowledge
it's
is
not,
power.
It's not, psoriasis is not contagious.
Contagious,
All right, so
yes.
I'm talking to Cyndi Lauper, and I want to ask you something. It hasn't been discussed much in the music business. We've talked about it in the movie business. We talk about it in business. The hashtag Me Too
Yeah.
and the time's up.
Yeah, time's up.
Why has there been no?
There
why
is.
are we
No, that's
missing the
not
music
true.
Business?
That's
All
not
right.
true. Because Kesha
Okay, that's
Came
true,
out.
Kesha.
and then a lot of people started coming out. And I think, stuff goes on all the time, and you raised in families where things were accepted and you try and change it. And it's not just, I think it's education.
But
we
I'm
have
saying
to
the
educate.
scandals, like here you have Les Moonves. There was nobody that we haven't seen the snowball effect, I'm saying, in the music business that we have in other forms of entertainment or even in the business
Well,
world.
they're
And it
very
kinda
aware of
surprised me.
it. No, they're very aware of it. You didn't. No, stuff happens, and you just hope that next time it doesn't have to happen to the other women coming up after us. That's what I hoped. I never changed my mind. I never thought things were okay. And
And did you speak up? Did you?
oh yeah, that's why my career did not go.
Okay, wait a minute. So
I
how did
spoke
this
up at
derail?
every single thing that I thought was wrong, whether I was as an artist or a woman, I said something.
Any
I
regrets in doing that? Any regrets?
no,
Okay,
I don't care. You know why?
because you got to live with yourself.
Because also awards and things like that, I don't care what anybody says. I will still be singing when everybody's long gone. I'm still going to be singing. I'm going to keep myself healthy and keep my voice healthy. And, I don't smoke. That's a good thing.
Amen to that. And thank you so much, Cyndi Lauper, for joining us this
But
morning.
can I just say one thing?
Yeah, you got like 10 seconds.
Okay. If you're ill and you're going to a doctor, make a list and find a doctor that specializes in psoriasis. That's the practitioner you need, not cosmetology, psoriasis.
Got it. And if you missed any part of this or any other interview, download the iHeartRadio app and go to my podcast, Sunstein Sessions. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning on the Jim Curless Rock and Roll Morning Show because he's going to be on vacation. But I'll be with you with Mark Coppola, tomorrow morning, Q104.3.
New York's classic rock, Q104.3.